It is weird that one hasn't had as many listens.
The other one I didn't have that many listens, but now I was the Sabrina.
Yeah, I know. That one.
The Chappelle Rowan one got like a lot. Boom, up in this.
I mean, I kind of expected the Sabrina Carpenter one to tank because who the fuck likes her?
But now it's up there in the top 10.
Yeah.
It's surpassed the other ones.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Maybe just one person listening to it over and over and over.
Yeah. Losers like us, not just me and Tim, but like all of you that are listening to it, you're a loser, right? Like just like we are in the sense of the tax department. So we should be claiming our losses for being losers because we are spending more to give to the future generations when they find this recording lost in a world of like anti-recording devices of, a USB stick that you can't plug into anything anymore, right? And there's nostalgia that brings to someone in 90 years' time, that memory or the death of the earth or whatever we're living in right now, we need to claim that as a loss. So
right.
As you read this,
yes,
I'm just going to go release.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, do you want me to continue? Or wait for you.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
All right. It's finally gone, so I can get through a slide. So, skill and it's kind of weird doing it without him. This is weird. I never thought I needed him, but now sitting here alone feels a bit weird.
Tim sits awkwardly in silence for a while, missing Lil.
And he's sitting back down, picking up the mic.
What were you talking about?
I was trying to talk, and then I realized I need you.
You can't.
I talked for a little bit, but then I tried to, and I couldn't do it without you, and that produced a crisis in me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So
I always assumed I could do this alone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I'm a loner.
You know what? Then that was my lesson to you. Get rid of those thoughts.
I feel like that was my lesson to you.
This is a duet.
Little gift that you've been given now.
Yeah. This is a duet.
I've realized I can't do it without you. I'm like the abused partner that tries to go out by themselves but can't.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
The dependence.
I don't know what to do when you're not here.
Oh no, isn't that weird?
Looked around.
It's awkwardly. Like you want me, but you don't want me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. I got that feeling. I know that feeling. It's called being a man.
Being a man. Mel Lipto's advice to men out there. Be a man. Find another man that you can't live without. And do everything with them.
My smoker's cough has been appearing. I've been thinking about death lately.
Okay.
For the last 52 years.
Oh,
it's a recurring thought.
Yeah. Oh, now you're popping the mic again.
Sorry, I'm popping the mic.
You're popping the mic.
Sorry, I just
had a little bit of in your mouth.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I was doing this before. I was like...
Yeah, I like that. I saw that.
I was like...
Yeah, that's good.
It was like a sword.
Yes, you hilted it.
Yeah.
But I was quite manly.
Do you like my flower that I've got on my...
I do. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Okay, I just thought
it's just a brief foray into mortality, or do you have to listen about your death?
We can continue with the slides. Like,
what did you want to say? But what did you want to say about death?
Memento mori. I just hate that word so much. It's been so overused. But I remember the first time hearing it.
Yeah.
Which was like in 2022. I remember when I first heard it, and then I went to Napoli, and Napoli is full of memento mori because Dante was from there and stuff like that. Napoli is a fucking cool city. We should do the podcast in Napoli, underneath the Dante statue that's graffitied all over.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a dirty, grimy city. Have you been outside?
Where am I now?
You were in Sydney. I know. That was just me, just poking the bear like I like to. Taking risks.
I'm a bear.
Yeah, memento mori is I saw 28 years later last night.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of use of the word memento mori.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
I don't know why. I feel like we both need to watch it. We're never going to watch a movie together because every time I call you, you just look at the phone.
Oh God!
Okay. But again, absurd, and serious.
Absurd and serious. That's you know. But we're trying to be serious to be absurd, or it's serious to be critique.
Yet. Do you think abstraction is experimental or is it lazy?
Well, if you'd let me get through the fucking slide, I'd explain it to you.
Thank you. This is where I'm trying to get to. You're just a little bit too relaxed there, Tim. I don't know how to I'm trying to wake you up.
Yeah, no, I'd be waking up. I was thinking of that, like, because you've got a cool way of holding your mic. I'm trying to have a cool way of holding my mic.
No,
You're not the only one that can do it. Like, I'm gonna like do a.
Yeah, okay.
I want to say gangster, but I don't want to say that either.
I'm hoping there's surveillance footage here. Because
I'm sure there is.
I would like to request it.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the recording.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have to do too much pixelation because no one's fucking logged
in.
I would have to get rid of Mick in the background.
Mick, poor Mick. I feel bad now, like thinking about
picking on him.
Yeah, I did. I felt like I picked on him.
No.
Well, you called him Mick.
Yeah. I was picking on him.
Yeah, but I yelled it.
You were the one that, he'll blame you.
Interpolated.
I said it behind his back.
Yes, you were like, I was interpolating it. Hey, Mick.
Right. So there's a tipping point between skill and expression. I want to talk about skill and expression as two things that we often think of as collapsed together. So for these high school students, skill exists, or the notion of skill, the reason that they try at something is in the service of expression, right? They have something inside themselves they want to express. Skill is seen as a vehicle through which to be able to do it, right? So it's in the service of, like, skill is not the primary thing. The expression is, it essentially helps them find a language, a knowledge, a way of moving one's body in order to express something, right? So one learns skill in order to express something urgent, and that's why we fucking call it Art Express. That's why it's the most fucking viewed show at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, and it's also the show that no artist will ever say they've ever been to since year 12. Right. So clearly Art Express is...
Or art teachers. You can, like, I'm an art teacher.
You can as an art teacher go.
Yeah, I just might visit it online in one lesson.
Sure.
Like, hey, look at these works. Look how you don't want to be part of Art Express.
In the occasions that I do go to the Art Gallery of New South Wales, and if that show's on, I definitely see that show.
You go see it?
I go see it.
You do?
Yeah. I quite like it.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know why I shouldn't like it, and there's a lot of it I don't like, and I also know what's not there that should be there.
Do you like the Archibald?
No.
Did you pay to see the Archibald?
No, fuck no. I've been in the Archibald and I wouldn't pay to see it.
Like someone painted you?
No. I did a painting that was in the Archibald. I mean, yes, that's technically true because I did a painting.
Did you
one? I painted myself.
Was that in the Archibald? The one with the, like, you as a convict?
Yeah.
Get fucked. That's a good painting. I actually, when I saw that, I went, oh, Tim's an artist. That's the first time I thought.
Skill, right? You look at skill and you...
Like, I thought you were, like, it would be better if I knew that you didn't actually make physical work.
Yeah.
I would think you were a better artist.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, actually, he's got, like, a sense of aesthetics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was in the Archibald. That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But I was also in Art Express. So I've been in the most uncool shows that you could possibly imagine. But I still like Art Express. I've always hated the Archibald. Still do hate the Archibald.
You like Art Express because you just dropped that you were in it.
Yeah. I did that earlier on. Yeah. I got for both my 2-unit and 3-unit.
We were talking about this.
I was second in the stage, motherfucker, and I tracked down the person who came
what
first.
Did you get, 49?
No, I got full marks for my 3-unit. I don't know how they judged that I was second rather than first.
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever.
I got selected, but I didn't get in.
Yeah.
Because the picture that I painted was nude.
Yeah. That's what I miss from seeing it. Like I know all the things that haven't been selected. Selected.
But you get like full marks. So I think I got not full marks. I think I got like for my 2-unit work. So we did both 3-unit art. They don't do that. You know,
no,
they 3-unit now.
No one knows what the fuck's
3-unit.
Yeah.
How great is it to do an extra unit?
I know.
Art? Bring that back.
Yeah. That's great.
Bring that back. Whoever our education minister is. Because I know you listen.
Yeah. It made us who we are.
Yeah. It made us who we are. Like, bring it back. Bring it back to me.
Anyway.
But before we go on to this slide, we did diverge. We were going to talk about your HSC work, where it is now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I said it's at at my mum's, but one of them is at
Did
my
you?
mum's.
Yeah,
I didn't fucking listen.
Did you?
Yeah, I said that.
One of them.
One of them was hanging in my mum's house. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
My parents got my university work. I won a prize, the acquisition prize, which means that they
can't have it.
Well, no, because I had a series of them, so they won.
Yeah,
I had like about 8, 9 works. Yeah, so it was pretty cool that I won the acquisition prize.
Yeah,
pulled it out like last minute. The work, it was really good work actually. I've never it was very Tapias style work. Painting with light. I thought it was really poetic.
Oh,
yeah.
See, there's no expression, right? Fucking own that shit.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Hey, well, I'm here to say it's okay.
Yeah,
just as my work about fucking beauty and like Japanese theater.
Yeah,
for year 12.
Yeah.
So everything was cringy about it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I will bring in the Art Express catalog.
Yeah.
And you can read the statement that I wrote.
And what would it say? And you just like verbatim what it is?
You can't verbatim it.
This is Claire. Claire is about to join us right now. Claire, do you know Claire? You know Claire. Hello, Claire.
Hello. Hello, Mel.
Hey.
Nice pearls.
Thank you.
The amazing Claire Cooper wanders into the gallery. Eventually, Mel lets Claire leave.
You should listen to it, DB10.
Okay.
But she has an anti-podcast stance.
It's not a podcast. This is not a podcast.
It is on a podcast platform. Also, she has expressed the desire to leave, and you're not letting her leave.
Do we have your consent to be on it?
I can cut you out.
But can we, if
he wants you on it?
Mind.
Thank you.
If this is in the flow and style of what you're trying to do,
yeah,
then that's okay.
Thank you.
Well, we'll say goodbye now. And thank you for letting me go.
That's the honest. Yeah, likewise. This is great. This is bye, Claire. I'm sorry I called you Conroy. That was Claire Cooper, everyone.
Okay, so
no, wait. Before we went there was a point.
We get to the end. I'm only halfway through.
Yeah, there was. We were talking about something important.
No, we weren't. No, you were talking about your mum has a prize that you fucking won.
Oh no, yeah, that's it. That's my thing.
We were,
yeah. The year 12. Where is? Oh, that's right. And I did go back, and you can together.
Verbatim. You were asking what I wrote, but anyway.
Yeah. Can you?
No, not verbatim, because verbatim means word for word.
Yeah, not verbatim. Don't do it verbatim.
No, like one of them was just like
artism.
Art is like beyond. Like one was like a painting, this massive fucking painting, wall size painting of like a pretty girl. Right? It's a classic. Like me, teenager, who I was obsessing over. And the caption was like, art is beyond language. I exist for like the beauty of the world.
So you put words into your artwork, or
no, the caption in the Art Express thing was that, yeah. And then the other one, that was the.
This is where you would never be John Cage.
Fuck off. The beauty of the world. That's not.
Yeah.
But the other ones,
yeah.
It's horrible, right?
Yeah.
I know it's horrible. But whatever.
Yeah. I
was obsessed.
What was your third unit?
The other obsession I had with Buto dancing in Japan.
So did I. But more later on,
right?
Like first year uni or something like that. Yeah.
So I was obsessed with it. So I did a series of drawings about it. That's where, if there was any politics that I had, it expressed itself as like non-Western aesthetic fucking regimes of whatever, blah blah blah. But also Buto for me, before I knew about Gutai and like actual performance art, I was like, these dancers are like not representing something, they're actually feeling the thing, right? They go through endurance, pain and stuff, and express like real rather than representation. I was interested in that as an aesthetics. When you're first trying to express yourself, skill is just the vehicle through which you get enough of it in order to be able to express something. Okay. So very quickly we become fixated, however, on the skill itself. And in order to demonstrate skill, we need to actually start removing expression itself. In other words, expression gets in the way of the comprehension of skill, which is the thing of the old white in the audience, looking at the skill of the performer. If they're expressing something that they believe in, then that just gets clouds the fucking skill. All right. So why? Why does this happen? Why do we become just more and more obsessed with skill and less obsessed with expression? Like my expression of like wanting to paint girl that I was obsessed with. And I wanted to do it really skillfully, as though that would somehow make my expression more real. Yeah. Anyway, so why? one obvious reason is capitalist accumulation. The more that you empty the message, the more variations of that skill that you can sell. It's the fashion label that has to exist forever, pumping out variations that can be discussed in purely aesthetic terms. Or, to go to your discussion on abstraction, it's what Boris Groys calls weak universalism, which...
What does he call it?
Weak universalism, which is an aesthetics. He calls it an aesthetics of weak universalism. And I'll read the quote from Groisy, which is, how can one make art that would escape permanent change, art that would be atemporal, transhistorical? The avant-garde did not want to create art of the future. It wanted to create trans-temporal art for all time. By means of reduction, the artists of the avant-garde began to create images that seemed to them to be so poor, so weak, so empty that they could survive every possible historical catastrophe. End quote. Now, you can see this happen across the 20th century where, you know, the art that we don't teach in in university is expressionism. Like, we don't teach the early 20th century movements of German expressionism, even though high school students love Kath Kollwitz.
What's the big propellers? Who's that?
Kiefer.
Yeah, Kiefer.
Yeah.
I loved Kiefer.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Expressionists, right?
Yeah.
And surrealists, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are expressing.
Ansel, you know him by the second name. I always know people by the first
Again, that's
name.
why together.
Yeah, yeah.
The perfect cult
Yeah,
leader.
yeah, yeah.
Hot cult.
Yeah, yeah. That's strange that I know that. Like, I pick on first names, you pick on second names.
You're informal. You want to get to know people. So you have that line through the 20th century of expression, and that is not what gets taught in that's the precisely thing that gets taught out. The more that you learn skill, what gets taught in is the weak universalism. It's the cubes. Right?
Yeah.
It's the either like very refined skill, like fucking Morandi still life painting.
Yeah.
So Morandi is the same time as the futurists. Futurists are off doing incredible expression, like fascist expression in their works, in performance, in painting, and everything else. The other side was the Novecentist art movement in Italy, and Morandi is it. And I remember going to university and suddenly having all my painting lecturers recommend me going and looking at Morandi. Right?
Do you feel like Morandi is like a sideways projection of Malevich, like later on?
Yeah. It's
where, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Stalin Malevich, not
yeah.
1915.
Malevich. I love how you add
Malevich.
another syllable in there.
Malevich. Malala.
You got to know his first name.
Casimir. Yes.
Kazi. Yes, in a way, except that Morandi never had like an abstract or a radical phase. He was always interested in this like accumulation of skill in the still life, right? And here, like, what is less fucking expressive than a still life? Yeah? This is what my lecturers were trying to teach me, was like, no, remove the expression, that urgency you have, and respect painters like Morandi who are doing this sort of art that then leads you into respect like Donald Judd's cubes and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Which is weak universalism, because it's not expressing anything, right? It's art not for the future, not for the past, not for now. It's a trans-temporal art that Boris Groys is talking about, which is that a cube will be a cube now, a cube will be a cube in whatever future you can imagine. It's the only way that you can have your art exist forever or be in a universe, in a museum, is that if it's so empty of meaning and expression, it can survive whatever the context is that is around it. But for the teenager who's calling for the head of the king to be cut off, the question is, well, what does that work mean when there is no monarchy? It's like, well, it will have done its fucking job. Like, they don't care. That's the sacrifice, right? Yeah. But if you want your work to be on the wall of gallery, you need to suck out the expression, or make that expression so subtle that it becomes like you can talk about all these other things. This is like ambiguous as to what it's about. But Morandi was just as much of a fascist as the futurists, which I never knew when I was being told, oh, go look at this painter. Like, this painter's great. And then in my history courses, I'm being taught about how fascist the futurists were. Yeah. It's like, well, look, he was a fascist too. It just looks different, right? Like, so politically, there's also no difference between these two. Aesthetically, they look very different. So I think that weak universalism that Boris Groys talks about is kind of unique in art, somewhat unique in art, where it becomes more and more reductive in what it does. But you can also apply that to extreme skill acquisition in things like dance or in music, where you have the classical music performer, right, who becomes a member of the Sydney Symphony by playing perfectly Beethoven from 300 years ago, right? That is as empty as a cube is to me, right? It has nothing to do with now or the future. It doesn't even have anything to do with the past because the instruments that they're using, like it's not Beethoven. It's an idea of perfection of what Beethoven could have been.
Yeah.
La la la, right?
It's a cover band.
It's a cover band.
It's a perfect Pink Floyd cover band that plays for 3 hours, because if Pink Floyd was to play right now, they would play for an hour and a half, right? So they just drag it out.
Yeah, but it's been but it's been seen as and being sold as the pinnacle that you could be, right? The Donald Judge Cube is the pinnacle of what an artist could be. Similarly, the first violinist is the pinnacle of what a violinist. There's no expression in that violinist. They have been taught how to ape or pretend expression. It's a perfect expression every night. It's the same expression every night because it doesn't change dependent on the context that's around it.
Yeah.
This leads us to the pedagogic reason as to why. So we have the capitalist reason as to why skill gets more concentrated on as soon as you move into university. But also, I'd say by the end of high school, it's like, there are certain things like maybe don't do a work about like cutting yourself or suicide or something, right? Like it's not even necessarily, although of course part of it is like it's going to get flagged or like, you're not going to get White Express if you do that. Like all those things are real, but it's also like a growing understanding of like, well, it's kind of like it's a bit problematic for you to be doing that work if or you start conversations about lived experience and all this kind of stuff, right? We can see how that starts to happen across your teenage years. And then once you get institutionalized into university or TAFE or job or whatever, it continues. One reason is that capitalist reason, which is that you have to evacuate expression in order for you to be able to pump out 100 paintings about something. And each one is slightly different because of the skill that you're buying a slightly like refined or different version of that skill. You can't sell 100 paintings about genocide because it doesn't fit a capitalist logic as well. It also doesn't fit the longevity of that artist as an investment. It's like I can paint squares forever, or I can paint still lifes forever. And if you look at most commercial or successful artists who have constant shows, and that's obviously what their work looks like, right? It's subtle variations on a theme, forever. Yeah. And you see, if you go back and you look at their early work, it's always fucking wild. Or not always, but often really fucking wild and saying stuff and strange, if you can find it. Yeah. And then it just gets refined and refined and refined, and all that expression gets sliced and sliced out of it. And it just becomes these little like very clever, very like aesthetically skilled. You could still argue that there is like theory and meaning and all this other stuff that's kind of in the work, but it's also, just to look at it, fucking boring. Yeah. Compared to what was going on 20 years ago, right?
So to go back, like this is like the twist, right? Because there's no twist in movies anymore. Have you realized?
Bring a twist in,
So we've just created a twist, right? So to go back,
you know why you can't have a twist? Sorry, by the way, because you can't have a sequel off a twist. So the reason, because it's like a twist
franchise.
It's a franchise problem. You can't have a franchise. That's why the twist goes. You must always have a film that finishes on the potential of a sequel. So that's why you can't have a twist, because it wraps stuff up.
And you know what? You know the movies with twists, you can't make remakes of them.
Yeah, exactly. You can't remake them because everyone knows the fucking twist. Yeah.
Unless you just make another movie that's got the same twist
for the next generation.
Yeah.
Or you just watch it for nostalgia.
Yeah, it's called something else and it's called, different, like,
Yeah, that's why.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
So, that's interesting.
But the twist of this...
But you can have a twist. You can make a movie with a twist.
You can make a movie with a twist.
Yeah.
Make a movie with a twist.
So our twist is, going back to my conversation with... my student, well, not my student, but the student that I'm teaching, is that your work 20 years from now would be, your work now is more important than what it's going to be. Don't make a body of work from this work. Don't refine it. Keep your expression as it is.
Yes.
Keep your methodology.
Yep.
Go back to you, because I think you're more interesting than most artists that we talk about. Do you have a similar theme in your works, or do you like not a style? I love when people like talk about style. Like, have you found your style? Like, it's really important for students to discover their style. Yeah, I was like, style, like fuck style. Do you know what I mean? Fuck style. Style is what you're talking about, which is drilled into you. The labor. Everyone can have. I don't feel like I have a like you can look at my work now, or you can look at my videos and you go, that smells done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
But like you can look at my work a year ago, or the porn work that I was making, or the like the cutouts. Or none of it. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I don't have a thing. Do you have a thing?
No, but I actively work against that. Right?
Yeah, same.
Like, and also like part of that is me actively working against self-promotion. But, and I want to talk about this in a minute. Like yes, I agree. Any time that I get close to being recognized as or for something, I would change it. And you know this, right? Like, I'm doing some painting now, but I haven't done it for 20 years. I do performance. I have been doing performance. Do fucking photography when that gets recognized. I'm doing this podcast. Like, I will try at every point to avoid that style. And it's not just to avoid that being like, oh, that's a Pollock, right?
Yeah.
It's not just to do that. It's actually, and me thinking about this and doing this week, is a process of expression. Like what I'm trying to do, what I've kind of think I've realized is I'm trying to express something.
Yeah.
And if I stay in one medium, or if I stay in one mode, I recognize that expression getting less and less. The more that I like work in something and through something, there's a point, it's a tipping point, and this is my point here, between skill and expression, where the skill starts to dominate and the expression starts to disappear. Yeah. Because I get fixated on the skill bit. And it repeats itself, and the skill gets better, sure, but the expression goes down and down and down and down. Yeah. So actually my methodology, and this is what which I hopefully will get to, is a methodology of constantly de-skilling and reskilling in order to find that kind of, that moment of, like when that helium balloon in the room, it just sits in the middle. Yeah. It's not up or down. It's that in between having some skill, but not so much skill that I'm just fucking repeating myself and everyone's like, oh, look at that up there. Yeah. And it's not on the floor where it's just like absolutely no skill and like just it's the shit on the floor, which I respect both of those. Yeah. For me, for expression, it's that middle strange bit. Yeah. And of these dancers, right, the bit that I was actually fixating on was not their skill, but their failure. Yeah. Like that they had enough to like kind of try, but it wasn't right. Yeah, they're all not dancing quite in time, or they're kind of a bit clumsy. Yeah, that's the other people think that Cage was talking about. Right? That's what I saw, that they're thinking. Yeah, they're thinking and trying to fucking say something, and it's not disguised by perfect skill of the ballerina that could be a robot. Yeah, or the first violinist who like AI is going to take over. Right, like that's that fragility of that balloon held in middle space is what I'm looking for expression. I'm giving you a pause to talk if you'd like to.
Oh, no.
Okay,
no.
cool.
Okay, all right. So, I'm thinking, look, you don't want to know what I was thinking.
No, I rarely do. But as we've discovered, I have to have you here. I don't know what to do about that.
I thought about it all. But my one thought, I went into thoughts. Like, like people out there, there's, if I don't know, like when I hear people talk, like, and I'm listening to them, I don't know how your brain works, if it's like neurospicy or whatever, right? My brain starts, it leads me to a visual. Yes. Yeah. Do you do that? Yeah. So when I'm talking, you like, do you have visuals then? Well, how come you, but you're a more polite person. You just keep those visuals to yourself, right? Yeah. Well, I like to share them. Yeah. I don't know how atypical this is. When you were talking about the helium balloon, I thought about, have you ever been to like a beach that's like a beat? Yeah. You have. Yeah. Like, I think it was, I remember years and 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 years ago, my children, I have children, I don't want to name them for podcast reasons, for whatever. I remember going to this beach called Helix Beach on the north side. Is it Helix or Helix or whereabouts? It's on the north side, and it's a nudist beach in the middle of another nudist beach. There's a safer nudist beach. It starts with C. Then there's the Elias beach. And a nice beach that all families go to a bit further down, and some kind of like colonial structure where they have weddings in the middle. Do you know the one that I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, we heard it's a really nice beach, and taking the kids down there. And I had my friend from Switzerland, Robin Notter, who I don't talk to anymore. I don't know why. It's just, maybe that's the one Swiss voice that's listening to this. Anyway, hi Robin. So we're going to this beach, and I've been to lots of nudist beaches. Like, I'm really comfortable in my body and other people. But this one was a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of helium balloon penises, the ones that are deflated. But it was weird. I don't know if there was a performance going on at the time that I was there. Like, when you sometimes just walk into a scenario, the beach was quite packed, by the way, because it was hot.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of buff men, not just one, with their penis wasn't like up.
It was in middle state.
Yeah, but it was like
Floating.
trying to keep it there. So that facial expression, the action in the face, like
that's what I'm trying to do.
You like pulling your face muscles to pull your penis muscles.
Yeah.
That's like this concentration. I can't explain it. It's a concentration that you can see in someone's face.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to keep it in this
sort of middle zone.
This middle zone.
Yeah.
And that's the helium balloon.
I like that. Yeah. That's a perfect demonstration of my art practice.
And that was really creepy for me. That was like, I've never been. It's like, and it wasn't because of the observation of the penis doing this middle way,
third way.
It was more the facial expression, concentration.
That was crazy skill that you're trying to acquire the skill.
Yeah. If people were just walking around like that,
wreckers,
like that. If people were just walking around it would be okay.
It was the labor, the work,
the labor to keep it.
Yeah,
in some kind of like middle zone.
Yeah. All right, let me read this quote. Greg Stewart. To quote Greg Stewart from this year, the injunction to play as written, so think about music notes on a stove, right, is so deeply ingrained in classical music culture and its performance pedagogy that one would not be mistaken for thinking that it is literally the point of the entire enterprise. Even when experimental composition students are concerned about whether they are doing it right, almost to the point that it feels like they are demanding that I tell them what to do. The musicologist and Bull terms the extreme focus on technical ability, precision, and accuracy in classical music as a pedagogy of correction. And that's the term I want to kind of think about for a second, which is the pedagogy of correction, and even to think about like corrective services and all this kind of stuff, that there's this disciplining that occurs that is really obvious in music, really obvious in dance and those kind of things that are like so fixated on skill development. But it's also, I have definitely come across that in studio, which is like the primary affect that I get off students in studio is for me to tell them what to do. And it's not because they don't have an idea. It's not that they like don't have things that they feel about or they want to do, but they are obsessed with whether or not they're doing it right. And that's the thing that that's the pedagogic like disciplining that's going on about turning that expression into skill. That at a certain point they realize that people are cringing at them or people are thinking it's cute. Then they're like, oh, that's not right. I'm not doing it right. Like I'm so like embarrassed or ashamed of that. Or whatever, I want to get rid of this feeling that you have to tell me how to do experimentation right. You tell me how to express myself. So, whoa. You express yourself. Like I'm here to hopefully do what you did, which is drag the drawing from the bottom of the pile to the top of the pile and like praise that and show you that I can do that for every fucking drawing in this pile.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not about like where I value this, is that every one of these things can be valued because it's an expression. And we can have a discussion, and the discussion is the thing, not whether or not it's good or bad. Like that should be what the pedagogic like moment is.
Yeah.
But it can never be that because it's a corrective logic. It's that there must be a right and a wrong. You must be able to pass or fail. And so it has to always be seen through like a corrective position of you as the teacher or just the audience member sitting there as correcting their expression.
Mm.
That's the fuck thing for me that we learn and we internalize that disciplinary like force.
Yeah.
Right. By teaching, therefore, skill or theory, whoever it happens to be, and I've done both and I'm guilty of both, I think there's something else going on here, which is to learn that you can have passion and you can express yourself, but only through the mastery of skill, which is, in other words, to say through the discipline of the institution of that mode of expression. If it's art, it's art. It's dancing, it's dancing. Music, it's music, right? You can only express yourself through a certain mastery of that. The most obvious is dance and music, but of course it's true for anything. Care about human rights, don't do a fucking dance about it, do international law, right? Care about protecting children, don't make a painting about it, do social work. In every case, it's this slow process of slow death of that passion, of that commitment, of that like expression of like my body is in that. And we know this, particularly in these kind of like areas, it's all about burnout, right? You're going to fucking burn yourself out. You got to just like take it slow, like do what you can instead of like transforming dancing about genocide. It then becomes about understanding why the ICJ can't do anything. And that's what the adult is doing. It's like, go and do law at university. Like, yeah, you're committed to like international human rights and international justice. You'll learn that you can still be committed to that, but nothing's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change. And that's what we're trying to teach. I genuinely think by institutionalizing, that's what we're trying to discipline. That's what we're trying to teach to get rid of the expression, because we actually don't like seeing someone saying this is not okay.
Yeah.
On stage, right? Or someone saying, go and fucking murder the king, and meaning it. It's like, no. What we need to try and maybe get up the referendum debate again. Maybe we can have a vote sometime in the future, but don't really think about it. Maybe go and study politics.
So the critique then is a distraction, because we've been taught to critique as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that sense, theory can be a distraction. It's not, and again, I still defend art schools, and I still think it's the best place for these people to go.
Yeah.
I still think there are ways in which we can do this, but theory as
art school, okay, it's definitely art school, because like it's the only thing, like I can't think of anything else, right?
Yeah.
That is not a paid profession.
To your theory question, I think like you can apply the same thing, which is like, and this is the situationist kind of position. It's also Silvia Federici, who wrote the Wages for Housework, and whose PhD was on art history. Her point is that theory should be thought of not as acquisition of skill, what we're saying here, but acquiring enough to do something in the world. Like theory, the purpose of theory is to get you out, to get you to act.
Yeah.
Whereas when we usually say theory and when we link it to skill within art or whatever, like theory is the thing that supports the weird, weak, universal cube on the floor, right? It's not doing anything. It's not getting you to act. Yeah. So I'm not for that theory, but I am definitely for theory that makes us actually go out in the world and do something.
Yeah.
And you stop reading the second that you can go out in the world and do something, right? It's done its purpose.
Yeah.
So that's what, again, similar thing. It's the helium balloon. It's a semi-erection. You read enough theory, you do enough like practice art in order to go on stage and call for the death of the monarchy or whatever else.
Yeah, right.
So Gordon Hall, this is the last quote, which it's not, but anyway, I think this is a really beautiful quote on thinking through what's fucking happening here. So this is from 2018. The word discipline has a double meaning, one that I'm very interested in. On one hand, discipline is the tool of organization, control, subordination, and oppression. Think prisons, schools, the military, the camp. But a discipline is also a field of study, a domain of knowledge, a practice, a self-imposed, solitary, or shared system for doing things. Sculpture is a discipline. Flogging is getting disciplined. So I think there is like, we're doing both when we commit to disciplinary knowledge, so that we're both flogging and producing like a student into the system of knowledge of a discipline in order to remove that possibility of expression. That's depressing to me, but also art is the only thing that offers the potential out of that for me, because it is anti-discipline and quite openly anti-discipline at times.
Yeah.
Do you know Claude Cahun?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't know Claude Cahun?
All right, I'm just not being offensive.
No. Well,
you know this work.
You know Claude Cahun's partner's name?
Oh, shit, I read it this morning. Oh, shit, I did read it this morning. Now I've forgotten. What's
Claude Cahun's partner?
You look it up while I say that. Yeah. Now you had to have access to it. Okay, so in defense of seriousness, and Claude Cahun is just one of many examples we give here, but it's neither skill nor no skill that makes these students dance, the ones that I saw. It is skilling for expression, Shuri said. The gap between skill and virtuosity is the thing that I like, right? So none of these kids will ever join the Australian Ballet. At best, they'll become dance teachers or something. The death of that dream, because often like kids are going to think, oh, I'm going to be whatever, is, however, for the adult self. And it will be equated with a cringe towards expression itself, i.e. that like They look back and are like, oh, I can't believe I thought I could be that or whatever, right? They see that as a failure of both skill and expression, right? And it will slowly die within them as they get older, that memory of what that was, or that silly kind of fucking dream, until they wake up, to quote Chapel Rowan, as nothing more than his wife, right? And it just becomes suddenly like you live in that normativity and you no longer even want to dance or think foolishly back on that expression, on that meaning, the way that I foolishly think back on my art expressed, although less and less actually, and more I'm kind of interested in what I was trying to do. Against this, however, and so how can we fucking get out of this problem, this seeming intractable trajectory of these people, that even if you make it into the Australian ballet, your expression is gone, right? So even if you succeed, it's going to look very different. And if you fail, you're always going to like look back on yourself as this kind of cringe figure, and say the failure was the expression. So against that is art as a way of living, this constant process of de-skilling to reskill, of being semi-erect, as Mel would put it, to stay in a moment where you have belief that there is a pathway to express yourself and the world. And so that constantly means this process of being in balance between skill and expression. And I think Claude Cahun, and particularly she used she in her lifetime, we probably use they now, says on her top is, I am in training, don't kiss me. Now for me, training is precisely what these high school students are doing, but what I'm talking about as well, right? That in between of not mastery of skill, just enough skill or enough theory to express whatever the fuck is urgent in your life. That's what I'm thinking here about the term I'm in training. It's not that I don't want to express myself. It's that I want to fucking express myself, and I'm expressing myself because I'm in training. If I wasn't in training, if I was an expert, then I wouldn't be expressing myself. And don't kiss me, to me, that is, don't make me cute, right? Don't fucking think that my expression is cute or something you can possess or you can like eroticize as that at the opera house looking at the dancer, right? Don't eroticize me. Don't contain me. Don't make me cute, because I am serious. This is serious. I'm in training. It is clumsy. It's clumsy because this is fucking urgent. And I want to like do this now. And I think that Claude Cahun does this here. And I think it's an incredible image of that. Not only that, obviously also of a cock, of her being a cock, of being that semi-erect position, of that, just that urgency of like, it needs to be in the world, even before it's fully erect.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's really cool. They're cool. They're anti-fascist. They're Antifa.
Anti-fascist.
They're pro-Palestinian.
Yeah, and like proudly Jewish at a time when you couldn't be.
Totally.
Couldn't be.
Yeah. What's cool about them, right, is like they've made a resurgence in their as celebrities, as celebrity artists, but only recently, right?
Yeah. I'd say so.
So I would say in the 2000s, but like with our new media, with queer art, a resurgence, and like they've been around for so long, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they were taken. A major turning point for them was in 1994 with the ICA, the Institution of Contemporary Arts in London, taking them on, which they held a landmark exhibition for them. Now, so Claude Cahun died in 1950s or something like that, and the partner's name was, I just looked him up, Marcel Moore.
Mm-hmm.
So she died. She committed suicide from the grief of her death, but in 1972, like couldn't.
Yeah.
So like, she just grieved her. But what was great is they were both in a Nazi fucking jail, and it's really romanticized because they say on the day that they were free, they were going to be executed, but they were going to be executed, right, for their like ironic capture and mockery of the Nazis.
Yeah.
And the irony was, and correct me if I'm wrong, the irony was that when the Nazis were fleeing Jersey, because they knew that it was the end and all that stuff, one of the officers really related to their humor, like Stalin, thing. and let them out of the jail, like freed them. Freed everyone, but freed them in particular.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like this weird irony of this story. And I'm gonna have to look this up and double check it, right?
Yeah.
But the weird irony of this story of the fascists having this intellectual sentiment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Stalin literally did that when he died, right? The record that was playing when he died was of a pianist who openly denounced him. And that was, and he was listening to it for pleasure or whatever, right? So, I mean, these are the interesting, like, expressive things that happen through being, like, openly committed to politics, but also openly committed to love. Like, again, that thing, that's as you said, romanticized or cliched, like, she killed herself out of grief.
Marcel Moore, yeah.
You know, like, that is expression. Like, that is fucking teenage love that you've carried through your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, tragic, and like, I'm not trying to like make a moral position.
No.
Like, that is something that is not common.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
And I can understand why.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this work.
Yeah, I know.
I would be fucking devastated. And,
I know.
you know,
When like literally, when did you hear about Claude Cahun?
I honestly, probably in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this resurgence of queer culture, arts, right? But like these are surrealists from the 1920s.
Yeah.
They're modernists.
Yeah.
This is modernist work.
Yeah.
It's so postmodern work.
It is, but it's also, it is both postmodern and expressive, right?
Yeah.
Expression.
And what's weird about it is it's only discovered in postmodernism.
Yeah.
What's like the irony of what work exists.
Yeah.
Around in the 1920s.
But then also, like, how
do we find this work?
How do we find this work? But then this is what's so beautiful, though, because this is the point for me, is like, okay, like, they are one example.
Yeah.
There are millions of examples.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the kids on the fucking stage in a rural theater, they're examples of that.
Yeah.
Right? It's brilliant. Like, it's great shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more of it than you think there is.
But so where do we find these 1920s works? Do we find them in like op shops in Newtown? Like, you know, digging through.
Yeah.
Where do you find these? Where do you find her work? How was she discovered?
Because it would have been like part of, as you said, postmodernism, 70s, like Isolde Pollock going back looking for women artists.
Like it's
random.
It's random, right?
Yeah, it's random.
This work does exist. It's been thrown out. Like we throw our art.
Yeah,
I just go, wow, like that work is.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, I do care that like we now see this work and it's great work.
Yeah.
The thing, it's like the theory thing, right? It exists, so I go out into the world, right?
Yeah.
I care about it not to preserve it, to preserve it so that I can see it, but only to the point that I go out and fucking do something.
Yeah.
And that other people go out and do something.
Yeah.
Or like when you hear about totalitarianism, you go and fucking dance about it. Like, it's that thing. Or you hear about propaganda and you're like, I fucking hate propaganda. What can
Yeah.
Oh, that's the point you stop. That's the point you go and do stuff. That's why this work should be out there. But also just to acknowledge that almost everyone has made work like this. They may have never shown it or really thought about it.
Yeah.
We've all been obsessed by something and done, like, made some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
But it doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore, but it existed in that moment. And,
Yeah.
You know, we can own it still. We don't have to have a repressive relationship to that.
So it doesn't need to have an audience when you make something. Does it need to have an audience?
Like, you at least have to be the audience.
Yeah.
Right. And the problem is that I think that we don't even become our own audience of that stuff. Like, once we transition past that, we either forget about it, we repress it, or we think about it as cute to ourselves. It's like, oh, I remember how I loved that person, or how I had that. It's like, and they're like, that was so intense, but like, oh, glad I'm not like fucking there again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really though? Like, have a little more critical like engagement with what that felt like.
Yeah.
What that was.
Non-experimental art band.
Yeah.
This is what the non-experimental art band.
Let me bring it all the way back.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna? This is the twist.
This is
no twist.
No, not the twist. This is the tying back to the start. What do you call that?
So it's like when you have like 28 days later, right? Started off with 28 weeks later. Started off with 28 days later.
Yes,
it had a going back to the start.
Oh yeah.
Then the end of the movie linked it back to the beginning of the movie, which then makes the prequel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's no twist. The twist, there was a twist, but the twist ends up being that that's where he is, older. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So 28 weeks later from the start.
28 days later.
This.
28 years later. By the way, it hasn't been 28 years. I looked it up.
Oh.
Well, I thought it was 28 years ago. Yeah, the movie. It was only like 19 years ago. Well, it was a long time ago, but it wasn't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense, actually.
Yeah. So, fuck that. Yeah, fuck that name. They should have waited.
Yeah.
So let's put all of this back into the Australian context of where I started.
Yeah.
Right. So against this notion of the Australian culture as being based on the fucking
That's
larrikin.
right. Who was the poet that we talked about?
Baron Fields.
We talked about him, but not very much.
He's
Like,
a shit poet.
Yeah.
The point wasn't so much.
yeah.
The point was that he was a satirist whose poems were taken seriously.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And that's what we continue to have, right? We have the larrikin, we have the fucking, the joke that is so like common across most like Australian culture, but it functions seriously.
Yeah.
Right? The fucking footy show, right?
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke,
Yeah.
but it's fucking serious.
That's why our movie about finding that artist on the stage will never work, right?
Yeah, it's too serious.
Or it's too serious. Is it serious if you make it serious? You know, when you actually, the intent is to be serious and make it serious?
Yeah.
And it's something that's so bad is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is sort of what I'm talking about here, right? Because against this satire being of being at the arse end of the world and therefore everything we do is jokes, but then we have to take it very seriously because we're a fucking settler colony that's based on this like satire and this lie. What I'm for is for a kind of serious clumsiness, right? Precisely what you said, like a seriousness that you go in seriously, but it's so clumsy that it's like it can't be taken seriously. So what is it taken as instead, right? Skill and that point is just being able to be used to express, but it's thick with this humanness of clumsiness. So why am I for this? Like, why am I for the thing that you would never recommend any artist doing if they wanted to have a fucking career? Because seriousness may, in this sense, be read as a critique in Australia. How? Precisely in the cringe that we feel towards it, in the cute that we feel towards it, and in the lack of recognition that we have in that old version of ourselves that used to think and act in that same kind of serious, urgent way. If Australia, in which it was founded on the joke that we are taught to take seriously through the skill and artistry of aesthetic perfection, i.e. terra nullius. So it's a joke that we're being taught more and more to take seriously. What happens when we encounter the serious, which we label naive, melodramatic, inauthentic? What happens when we encounter the person who stands up and says, hold on, everyone, either the two positions from the start of this joke, either this is fucking mad, you're mad, we live in a totalitarian state, either that position or the position of the other person who stands up and says, shush now, this is the teacher, like, shush now, remember, none of us really believe this. We are just performing this, right? Either one of those positions. We are inauthentic, right? And maybe the 16-year-old or the uni student doing a heartfelt dance in a regional theatre about genocide is not actually the inauthentic position. Maybe we should fucking watch it and realize that our adult job, the thing that we've done to ourselves, is corrective pedagogy to distract us with the discipline of skill and to make us feel ashamed for the passion we felt and expressed. Maybe that is the definition of the Australian adult. And if that's the case, then I am for that type of bad art. And to finish on, this is Penny Goring. And in this work from 2017, now she's also quite an old artist, been like making work for like 80 odd years now, I think, French artist. And she does these little works, these little big biro pen drawings. And I love this. And it's just like a yoga pose where she's kind of bent over. And it was her extreme naked yoga series from 2017. I love it because like big pen with like a little phrase under it. The phrase under this work is what doesn't kill me makes me traumatized. Like that is the perfect example. Like big pen itself, right, is such a like teenage thing to draw with, right? It's the thing that we're told you can't express yourself with a big pen. Here we have it. And here we have this little cartoon figure with a little like one line phrase about being traumatized. And it seems so cringe and so naff. And yet somehow Penny Goring has become is like a famous artist and this work is allowed. And I want to know, like, why is this the one exception? How can we make more work out of Big Biro? How can we make the one line that might make me go out in the street and think about love and hate? I'll think about ending the settler state that I live in. And maybe it does take a big pen. And just to finish with a quote from her, Penny Goring. So, my body is trashed and I live in poverty because I never stopped looking for true love. Okay, you couldn't have a more naff statement than that. And yet there's something in there that has made me think about that work and kids dancing on stage made me think about the importance of seriousness and why the affect towards that is shame. And I want to try and get rid of that shame.
Wow, that was really boring.